Hey guys, welcome back to Young Americans Abroad. My name is Austin.
And my name's Patrick.
And welcome to the show. Well, everyone, it was a, all in all good weekend for our YAAs. We had some contributions overseas with goals and assists. And we also got some answers to the questions we asked last week. So it sounds like, Weston McKennie is staying put at Juventus. But hey, Pat, Ronaldo is moving to Man United. So, kind of interesting.
Yeah, that is an unbelievable move. And there's a lot of speculation there. So it's interesting to see, Ronaldo, Messi there. But for Weston, Austin, it looks like he's staying put there. With the manager came out with those comments. And I think that's a good thing. And we mentioned the last episode. So, really exciting time for some of the players, catching fire, transfers again, big moves here, as we kind of, head towards the end of 2021, Austin.
Yeah, and honestly, on top of that, we have to say it's game week, for the USMNT. So, World Cup qualifying starts this week. It's something we've waited over 4 years for. So, if the moves that have been happening, Pat, like you said, and also some of the, storylines to start the club season aren't exciting enough, we have the USMNT to look forward to and, starting that kind of road to glory, getting back to the World Cup. So, really excited about that and can't wait to cover it, obviously.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, man. Just remember the nightmare. The last time I heard those words, World Cup qualifiers and the Cuba disaster. So,
right, yeah.
Finally, it's here. The test is here, Austin. Everybody's ready for that exam. So, really excited to see.
Yeah, and we should say too, last week we tried out a live show, just off the cuff, tried to see what it was, like, did some experimenting with it. So this week we're actually going to host, 3 live shows after each of the World Cup qualifiers. So, right after the game is over, hop on Twitter or, hop on YouTube, not Twitter, and, come hang out with us for a little bit. We'll kind of give our quick reactions to the game, not go too in depth, just make it more, enjoyable and kind of chat away about the game and what went on, and it'll be fun. So definitely check that out. We're going to do one Thursday night and also one Sunday, and then I guess Tuesday is the last one. So
rapid fire, Austin. It's going to be fun.
Check it out. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. So I think with that, Pat, we're going to get into our episode today. So we've got some storylines we do want to talk about from the weekend, and then we also want to look ahead at that first World Cup qualifying game in 4 years against El Salvador. So, to start today, we're going to go into talking a little bit about Gio Reyna's performance this weekend. And Pat, he had a goal in this game, ended up winning, Dortmund ended up winning a big 3-2 win over Hoffenheim. And, Gio Reyna scored on his 50th Bundesliga game. So already has 50 games under his belt as an 18-year-old. So, very crazy. And I believe he was the fastest player in Bundesliga history to do that, which is, no small feat. So pretty impressive. And I really just think, he started the season off so strong. This goal is definitely well-deserved for him. He played a great game. And I just think, this season we've seen a lot more confidence in his game. We've seen him bulk up a little bit over the summer. It definitely has a bigger frame. And he's just really started the season off hot and is really, doing things right.
He really is, Austin. And again, I saw some debate too on Twitter and things like that, but just kind of, again, comparing that Pulisic Reina path or you could even argue, when does he kind of overtake him maybe, or his legacy cemented at Dortmund? Just kind of intriguing not to compare, right? Some of our players there on the national team, but just really intriguing, and congrats to Gio. That's an amazing, milestone here at such a young age, and he's only getting better, Austin. He has so many great tangibles there, like you said, building on his strength, how he operates central team. The game has been, link up play, not kind of disappearing as much and out, and really controlling the flow. So I think it's been a great step here so far this season.
Yeah, and you bring a really good point up. So, really, another reason why he's succeeding so much this season is playing more centrally, being someone that, is relied on as a playmaker in this Dortmund team. And Marco Rosa has really just been able to put him in, a good spot. Again, he's someone who likes the ball in the middle of the field, turning on that half, on that half turn, getting the ball with his back to goal and turning and going by players. That's really where he thrives and succeeds, in the final third of the pitch. So, it's really been cool to see how Dortmund have, put him in those better spots to succeed. And that's really led to, more production so far this year. He's really gotten into, just great spaces and gotten, great shots, set up his teammates. There's been several chances he's created this year where, you think the players that, he set up were going to be able to finish, but unfortunately, it just didn't happen. So, just really exciting. Like you said, we'll have to see, if his ceiling surpasses Christian Pulisic's, but definitely off to a great start there in Dortmund and really should be a force in World Cup qualifying. You saw that with these last few games. He's played for the USMNT, obviously scored against Mexico and really looked good in that game. I think, the more confidence he gets at this, higher level, he obviously has a lot of confidence already, right. But kind of the more experience, being in these situations, learning from, the professionals he's around there at Dortmund, learning from the professionals in the USMNT team is really just going to help him kind of adapt more in these pressure situations and really become, a leader as well. We're getting a lot of leaders on our USMNT team, which is great. So, so far so good for Gio this year, and can't wait to see him in these World Cup qualifiers coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. And just quickly add too, Austin. Yeah, Gio is just just blossoming as a player here. Really excited to see him, grow as a leader and continue that here with the qualifiers. We saw him battle tested and battle ready. I don't think that'll be a problem, with these CONCACAF teams. But
he's well versed in CONCACAF. Going down and screaming at players when they're on the ground. That's awesome. That's what it's all about. Yeah, that
was fantastic. But shifting gears, Austin, to another player here that got called in. An exciting winger there, Konrad de la Fuente over at Marseille. Finally, he's back. I think returns to the U.S. camp, right, for the first time since making that debut against Wales in November 2020. So coming up on almost a full year ago. Seems like longer just in COVID time. But, nonetheless, it's great to see him, at the camp there at Nashville start before they fly out to San Salvador for that qualifier. But really, Austin, just wanted to highlight again, we've talked about it week in, week out, but, since transferring to Marseille, he's really made a huge impact there. Started each of the club's first 3 Ligue 1 games this season. I know one of them, if the fans were on, was abandoned or forfeit, things like that. So that doesn't count to the stats, but he did register 2 assists right in those 3 games. So he really is making a difference there. There's a lot of French press and news there about the La Masia Academy graduate and how well he's adapting to life over there in France. So I think it's a well-deserved call into the camp.
Yeah, and we've really seen him thrive. To me, it's not a surprise. I think playing for Barca B, he was really playing below the level he should have been playing at. So, I feel like it's just vindication for him, right? Like, this has been a player that honestly should have played more minutes with Barcelona. Last year, I really think the fact that they played Martin Braithwaite over him was kind of insulting, to be completely honest. So to me, it's not really a surprise that he's thriving in Marseille. I really think he's got a lot of good qualities for a winger. He's someone who's very fluid with his play. He's not afraid to take players on one-on-one, really has, good close control, good vision. He's done, a great job setting up teammates in the box this year. So, he just really ticks all the boxes as a winger. And it's, again, no surprise to me that he's being so successful in Ligue 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, not to foreshadow and go down to the later topics, but I just think it's great for him to be a part of this camp here. He could make an impact right away as a starter there. Again, barring injuries, things like that. But he could really come on. He has, like you said, the 1v1 skills, the ability to take people on and create, assists and chances there and goals. So really excited to see how he does here, with the boys here in camp.
Yeah, and I think with that, we're going to pivot more towards this camp now. So we're going to, cover a few topics real quick that we're excited to talk about, with this roster that was just announced, at the end of last week. And I really think, Pat, we got to start off with the biggest news of this roster, right? The player that we've, heard a lot about in terms of what their decision was going to be coming up this future. And that's Ricardo Pepi. So, Ricardo Pepi is chosen to represent the USMNT, and I'm so happy I'm saying that to you right now because, he's just a phenomenal prospect. Obviously, at the striker position, which is a position of need for us. That's something that that's a place where we still haven't solidified a starter. So, it's just exciting. We have obviously had David Ochoa switch over to the Mexican national team. Efrain Alvarez, a few months back now. So it really felt like there was, a trend being established with Mexican-American players choosing Mexico, which, hey, it is what it is. I'm not here to criticize it, but I'm just saying that's something that, is becoming more established. So it really felt good, Pat, to kind of, gain that recognition from Ricardo Pepi and, be the team that he desires to play for. I really think, it's good for obviously him and good to have him here, but I think it really bodes well for, a lot of these other players that we're trying to recruit and play for us.
Yeah, definitely. And again, don't want to go too deep down. It's a full other conversation, but the Scuff podcast there with Herc, that was a really great insight.
Yes.
Mexican American cultures, feeling where they don't belong here or there, things like that. So I don't have the direct quotes that Pepi mentioned there, but having that culture he respects and understands both, right? But also I think he specifically mentioned the opportunities that the U.S. has given him and his family for him to succeed and reach his dreams and continue to grow there, and to maybe bring that World Cup home one day would be an honor. So I thought that was a really mature and definitely kind of an insightful quote there from Pepi. Again, I don't have the direct quote, but.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, and Greg Berhalter sounds like played a role in his decision as well, which was pretty cool to hear. So if you want to criticize Greg Berhalter for some of his coaching decisions on the field, that's one thing. But he's done a great job recruiting players for the USMNT. So I can't fault the man there. But just to look at Ricardo Pepi a little bit more. So, this year he's really broken out at MLS. He scored 11 goals in 21 matches. Just scored, the crucial penalty winner for the MLS All-Stars over the Liga MX All-Stars. So
another W.
Yeah, right. Another W over Mexico. And he's just, gotten a lot better at the fundamental things this year, in my opinion. He's really bulked up in the offseason again, kind of like Gio Reyna. Just has been playing with more confidence. That's one of the things I really wanted to see from him this year. At times last year, it just looked like he was, on the pitch, kind of doing what was asked of him, but really wasn't, making those smart runs, really wasn't, kind of being in the game and really present in the moment. And that's something that he's done, a phenomenal job, this year with also has, developed his close control a little bit more, really has had some nice touches in and around the box. And, now is firing shots, first time, not kind of holding anything back. So really cool to see that, really cool to see a striker that's 18-year-old, doing these great things. Yeah. And again, he's a player that's trained with Bayern 2 times now. He's had, 2 training stints through the FC Dallas and Bayern partnership. So I just really like his upside. I really think he's someone that has a high potential. And again, just excited for his future, but really think he can contribute to the USMNT this camp. And obviously, Pat, we want him to be cap-tied coming away from these 3 qualifiers, but I'm not just saying that again for the future. I'm saying that for right now. I think with the striker conundrum, we have right now, especially with Jossie Zardes being injured, Daryl DK coming back from injury, Josh Sargent's there, but hasn't really cemented himself in our starting lineup, in my opinion. So, hey, if there's an opportunity to get Ricardo Pepi on the field, I think we need to do it, and let's see what happens.
I couldn't agree more, and I'm really excited. Again, it can go on and on, right, about Ricardo Pepi, and it's great. I'd love to see him in these qualifiers. So, hopefully, I'm knocking on some wood, fingers are crossed. But we got to talk Christian Pulisic as well, Austin, and that here. So. Again, he is, through to the COVID protocols there, which is great. We saw pictures of him in Nashville at the boys training, and he's back with the squad. So just exciting to see. I'm sure he missed that interaction, right? Instead of kind of, the virtual and being isolated. So again, he was vaccinated, and it sounds like he didn't have too extreme of symptoms. But again, we don't know how that affects in terms of match fitness, things like that. Being out of training in games, right? He didn't feature for Chelsea, which again is pretty unfortunate there. And they had certainly a crazy game over my living room there over the weekend. But another conversation, Austin. But nonetheless, yeah, it's just really great to see him, back and just really curious more to see how he's utilized and deployed during these 3 games for the U.S., especially with the fitness and things like that.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround, right? So you have 3 games in, I think, 6 days? And like you said, Pat, he's been out for almost 2 weeks now, not playing games.
Right.
So, yeah, I think, he's definitely going to want to play in this El Salvador game, and I think he should play. I think it really will be, up to Greg Berhalter to really understand, what he's capable of right now and really kind of manage his load, right? You hear about load management in the NBA, you hear about it maybe a little bit in the NFL. Yeah, it's just, understanding that and kind of, we called up 26 players instead of 23. So, there's other players that can play against a team like El Salvador. We just talked about Konrad de la Fuente. Brandon Aronson comes to mind as well. So, I think, Greg's got to be smart with it. And the worst case scenario would be that Christian Pulisic gets injured or something like that, plays, too many minutes and is, tired going back to Chelsea, things like that. So, yeah, I think it'll be interesting. We got to kind of see, what Greg says maybe in the lead up to the game here on Thursday and kind of take it from there, I guess.
Yeah, and again, we saw him, I think, in his backyard area, right, with the goal, but we just don't have any data. We don't know anything, right? It's just, isolation, quarantine. So, until we hear more rumblings from the camp and things like that, we don't really know anything. So, again, really excited that Christian's okay. And I know he's going to, like you said, want to get out there and make an impact there, especially in El Salvador and moving forward. But again, maybe he comes off the bench, early on for this game. Obviously we want him starting, but like you said, it's kind of up to a triple G there. So we'll see.
Yeah, and what makes it really interesting is, our last point for today, Tim Weah being out of the USMNT camp. So Tim pulled up, I think it was in the warm-ups, right? Before before Lille's game. So now he'll be out for 2 to 4 weeks, it sounds like, with an upper leg injury. So, I think, there's a lot of different ways you could go about replacing Tim in this lineup or, in this camp. I think Matt Hoppe, in my opinion, is the clear front runner to kind of get this position. Obviously, he's got some transfer speculation going on around him. So, that kind of takes priority, I guess. But, when you're talking about World Cup qualifiers, in my opinion, that's the priority. But, we'll see. The transfer window closes, I think, Wednesday this week. So, that's before the Thursday game. So maybe things will be able to come into place. But, another player that's been rumored due to, Greg Berhalter's preference would be Paul Arriola. Wouldn't hate it, Pat, right? A workman-like player.
CONCACAF veteran.
Yeah, CONCACAF veteran, someone who, didn't have the best, Gold Cup final, right? He didn't look great in that game, but, as someone who's been around this team, knows his role, right? He's not someone to kind of walk into this camp and expect to start, day one or kind of ruffle any feathers. So that was another player that's brought up. I personally think it wouldn't be the worst idea to call up another midfielder. Right now, I believe there's only 5 midfielders on the roster. So, you have players like Gio Reyna and Brandon Aronson who can, slide into midfield and kind of play in those positions. But, if there's another injury or, I don't know, a COVID outbreak, something like that, then you may be short there and could use another player or two to fill in. So,
right. It's unfortunate for Williamson too, not to diverge too much with the injuries, but Williamson's, seemed pretty awful and he would have made potentially been a good fill in there.
Yeah, very true. Yeah. And so I guess I'm going to pitch it to you then, Pat. Who would you, I guess, call up to replace Tim Weah? I said a few different options. What options are you looking at?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think I'm in agreement with you. I don't have anybody that's standing out right immediately, like, oh, they have to be there. I know, I like him personally for the YAA, right? Sabi, Manuel Sabi, and,
That's
someone really outside the box again.
Yeah.
Be realistic,
Yeah.
but even maybe a JG, Julian Green, or De La Torre. I know there's been some debates and rumblings there. But again, De La Torre did turn down that call up, right? A little back a while ago to get that cement that spot in Hercules. So I don't know, Austin. It's just unfortunate with Weah again. Feel bad for him. Hopefully it's a few weeks and he's back. But yeah, health is definitely the concern there. And he is very injury prone. So I'm pretty comfortable with everything you kind of mentioned there.
Yeah, and two more that really came to my mind, while you were talking, Pat, was Nick Gioacchini. So obviously,
that's right.
He's another player that's potentially on the transfer market. It sounds like maybe a move will materialize for him here in the next few days. But if that's not the case, then maybe he could be, a player that comes in and, is really a camp player that may, get to feature in one of these games. Has a great record for the USMNT in terms of scoring goals and providing assists, and really did a good job at the Gold Cup. So, wouldn't hate seeing him in that position. Yunus Musa's healthy now, it sounds like. So is Yunus Musa an option? Right. He could play midfield or on the wing as well. So just two more options to kind of ponder. It sounds like we're going to find out here in the next day or so, probably by the time we put this out. So
what depth we had, Austin? What depth?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I think with that now, we're really excited to watch these games and especially this game on Thursday against El Salvador. So, can't wait to talk about that a little bit more. So before we head over to Quick Kicks today, we got to also give our brief starting lineups for this game against El Salvador. So, Pat, I'm going to pitch it to you first. Who do you want to see starting this game?
All right. Well, who do I want to see? But I'm going to go a little bit more, just to preface, guys, with Berhalter. I'm in the mind of Greg Berhalter, seeing what he's going to pick. So just forewarning.
You got telekinesis, bro.
I got telekinesis, exactly. But to start, right, we're going goalkeepers. I know there's been some debates there, but I'm sticking strong. Since the beginning here, the number one, even though he's not playing much, Zach Steffen for Man City. I think he's going to come in and start this. But again, if he has a blunder or anything like that, Matt Turner scoops right back up. So Turner's been on fire and he's right on his heels. But I'm going Steffen there. And then the back line, Austin, I should say as well, it's a 4-3-3. And the four in the back we'll start in the center, with Brooks and Miles Robinson. So that's kind of the interest there. I'm just kind of riding on that Gold Cup hype. He's been playing well club there and really showed he can hang with the best there in CONCACAF. On the sides, I have Anthony Robinson left back and then Serginho Dest in his preferred right. So I just went, with the best, outside backs that we have. I think, in my opinion, again, I know there's some debates on more defensive, issues and flaws, but I think they offer so much. And they're both coming in a great form there. Three in the midfield, Austin. Tyler Adams, right? No question about it. In that sixth spot. And then, up there as well, I have Weston McKennie. Not a surprise, right? But now I'm moving to Sebastian Lletget. He's just been a Berhalter guy, right? I know there's a lot of talk there on social media. He hadn't had some of the best performances there. But again, he's, with the Euro lineups we've seen, with the Gold Cup, he's been that main. He's probably featured the most or appeared the most, right, throughout this kind of Berhalter time. So he's just one of the Berhalter guys. And I think he, offers that veteran experience there, can deal with the CONCACAF environments and things like that. And again, he can pull some different tricks out of his book, Austin, with a lot of people weren't criticizing him before, right, when he had some of those goals, with the Euro team early on in some friendlies. So that's a little bit controversial as we can dive into, and just wanted to quickly add for the top, right? A lot of changes with injuries, but I'm going Sargent up there, and then, flanked by Aronson on the left and Gio Reyna on the right. So that is my projected starting 11 for El Salvador.
Interesting. Okay, so Pulisic starts on the bench.
That's right. I don't want it, but I just have a feeling. I had this gut feeling that they're going to bring him on, maybe early on, 60th, 55th minute, if things aren't going too well.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. And I also like how you put Anthony Robinson and Serginho Dest in there. I think there's something to say about, playing players in their natural positions. I think that'll be, that's something that would be good to get, our guys start off on the right foot, not changing things up too much, keeping it, kind of the same, right? Continuity, that's important in these qualifying campaigns. So I do like that. I agree with most of your selections, Pat. I think, Miles Robinson definitely deserves to start against John Brooks. If Walker Zimmerman's healthy, I really like what, Walker Zimmerman has recently been able to bring to this team in terms of leadership. And then also just that, aggressive playing style he has, right?
Right.
So maybe, he gets the nod over Miles Robinson, but completely, would be happy to see Miles on the field as well.
So what do you think, Austin? What do you think? What's your projections here?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, Pat, I'm going to go this, the same route, right? I'm going to go Stefan in goal, going to go Anthony Robinson, Serginho Dest, going to go John Brooks. I guess I'll go Zimmerman over Miles Robinson.
Yeah, that's fine. I think that's pretty fair.
I can't go Acosta over Tyler Adams, right? Tyler Acosta's been playing so great, but no chance. Yeah, Tyler Adams at the 6, Wes McKinney, obviously, of course. I agree with you, Pat. I think, Greg's going to take Sebastian Sebastian Lletget.
Might as well be, right?
Yeah. I think Lletget will start in midfield. And then, if Pulisic can't go, Brendan Aronson, fine by me. I think Brendan Aronson's great and has, started off the season hot as well. So, love that pick. Josh Sargent up top. Maybe Pfalk, right? Maybe Pfalk. He's in good form. That would be maybe the other way I would tweak that lineup that you said. But I don't know. Josh Sargent's been in and around the camp so long. He scored 2 goals a few weeks ago as well. So not even a few weeks ago. He scored it this past weekend. Or past week. So, and then Gio Reyna on the right. I think, I think we're in agreement. So, it'll be fun to watch. We gotta watch on Thursday, right? And then watch us after the game. So
right.
Can't wait to get it started, right? This is what we've been waiting for. This is something that we've been building up to this moment again. I'm gonna have so many nerves, and it's so weird to say that as a fan, but I'm gonna have so many nerves on Thursday watching this game just to know this is it, right? This is what we've been talking about. So can't wait, Pat. I know you're excited too. You can't wait for the games.
And I have, quickly add too, I have off Friday, which is nice, Austin. Heading into that Labor Day weekend.
There you go. So
I'll be up. I'll be wired, and really hope it goes our way.
Hey, if we struggle with El Salvador, it's going to be a long qualifying campaign. So knock on wood, things go well this game, and I think they will. I think we turned the page right against Mexico. And, turn the page against Mexico both times, right? We beat them twice this past summer. So there's the new kings of CONCACAFs in town. So
right here.
Yeah, exactly. So I think now, we're going to end this segment today and head over to Quick Kicks.
All right, guys, and take you home here. It's my favorite part of the episode. It's none other than Quick Kicks.
So you can test Dwayne Miller. It's Altidore over the wall, and that one is in! Josie Altidore from a long way out. The opening goal for the United States.
And to start off, we're going to Venice, Austin, Venecia, with Gianluca Busio. So some exciting news there. His first appearance and start, right? Unfortunately, they did lose 3-0 to Venice, but nonetheless, it's great to see him get game time.
Yeah, it was good to see him make his debut. And, going over to Turkey, we have Haji Wright, who scored a hat trick for Antalyaspor in their 3-2 win. So really cool to see Haji, off to a strong start there in Turkey.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's hard to pronounce those too, Austin. I don't think I could do it myself, but
I didn't struggle. I didn't struggle.
exactly. But heading over to Spain here, some great news with Yunus Musa. He came on there for the last few minutes on a 3-1 win against Miasgas Alaves, but great to see him return from injury.
Yeah, and going over to England, we have Alex Mitten. So Alex came on and played the second half for Nottingham Forest in their 1-1 draw with Derby County. And he was actually called up to one of England's youth national teams over this break. So, not a cap tying, tournament or call up. So just something to be, aware of. And the fight for him still continues.
Yeah, come on, Horvath, work on him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're going to France with Nico Gioacchini there. Started and played 76 minutes in Caen's 0-0 draw. So some rumors again around him as well.
And going back to England, we have Josh Sargent. So Josh started and scored 2 goals for Norwich in their big 6-0 EFL Cup win over Bournemouth. And then this weekend, Josh subbed on and played the final 17 minutes for Norwich City's 2-1 loss to Leicester. So great to see him score his first goals for Norwich in game competition. But Norwich not off to a great start in Premier League. So yeah, we'll have to watch that space, see if Daniel Farke makes it through the next few games.
Seriously. Who's going to win first, Malaysia or Norwich? Ooh. We'll find out. But Brendan Aronson we're going to talk about. So last week I wanted to mention, he faced Brøndby and Christian Cappy, right? And they won the second leg 2-1 as well, just like the first, to send them through to the Champions League group stage. So he scored a goal early on, and he's been on fire. Even this past weekend, he did come on in the 64th minute in a 1-0 win for Salzburg there. But great to see him, excited what he can do for the camp.
And going to Germany now, we have Taylor Booth and Malik Tillman. So Taylor Booth subbed on for Bayern and made his Bayern debut for them and played the second half, while Malik Tillman scored a goal for them in their 12-0 DFB Cup win. So yeah, really cool to see. Two American players, playing for Bayern on top of Chris Richards. So watch that space and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Bayern America, Austin. But heading over to Italy with Juventus there, and Weston McKennie. He started there and played 45 minutes and subbed off there at halftime, unfortunately, in a 1-0 loss to Empoli. So not the best start there, but nice to see him get some game time with, again, all the rumors circulating.
Yeah, exactly. And going back to Germany, we have Joe Scally, who started and played 90 minutes for Borussia Mönchengladbach in their 2-1 loss to Union Berlin.
Heading to Belgium with Sam Vines there in Royal Antwerp. Started and played the full 90 in a 2-2 draw.
And going to Switzerland, we have PFOC, Jordan Saibachu, who started and played 45 minutes for BSC Young Boys and scored a goal in their 1-1 draw with Basel. So, hey, PFOC off to a great start there in Switzerland.
That's great. He's killing it. And in Spain, Serginho Dest came on as a sub in the last 27 minutes. And a 2-1 win against Getafe.
And not to finish on a sour note, but we have Tyler Adams, who started and played 90 minutes in Leipzig's 1-0 loss to Wolfsburg. So, yeah, not a great start for Leipzig this year, in the Bundesliga. Not great for Jesse Marsch, not great for Tyler Adams. So let's hope, they can get back on track after this camp and, get things figured out. So that's all for episode today, guys. If you made it this far, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel down below.
And don't forget, Instagram, Twitter, always putting out great content for the fans here, especially for you all who subscribed.
That's right. And we also opened our merch store earlier this summer, so go check out some of our t-shirt designs there. New designs are going to be uploaded, hopefully, in the next few weeks, so keep an eye out on that. And, go check it out.
And don't forget, just in the beginning, right, with these exciting World Cup qualifiers coming up, we'll be live streaming after, post-game, raw reactions, takes. We want you all to interact. We'll have some questions going, some great interactions with the fans here, and you all, just to really, it's an exciting time, right? And don't want to, have it planned out like a typical episode. Want those raw emotions.
That's right. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Just come hang out. We'll talk, shop about the USMNT, air your grievances if there are grievances after this game. And, Yeah, it'll be fun. So yeah, like Pat said, check that out on Thursday after the game, and we'll schedule that live here, in the next day or two, so it shows up on YouTube and you get the notification. So I think with that being said, Pat, big week coming up for our boys, right? Start of something special, start of something new, and again, that leads to one thing, and that is one day we will win the World Cup.